And well, as you open this video, you might be thinking that this is also one of those bullshit clickbait videos, but I guarantee you, it isn't. So yesterday I was finishing the tests with the RX 7600, finishing the tests to bring you the video comparison in between the RX 7600 versus the 6650 XT versus the RX 6700. And since I recently added 2 more games to the list, I had to test them as well with the RX 6700 non-XT. So far so good. But where things got messy was as I was testing The Last of Us Part 1 with the RX 6700.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Where I found that the 6700 was not only faster than the RX 6800, but it was also basically on par with the RX 6950 XT. And there are several reasons for that, it seems. Like, you have several reasons to watch today's sponsor. Today's video sponsor is GVG Mall, bringing you all the software deals you need, like Windows 10, Windows 11, Office 2021 with a new Windows 11 design, and even Windows Server 2022. For all of these, you can use my SKG discount code for 25% off, getting a Windows 10 serial key for only $16. Then use the key on your Windows settings and you'll have an activated system. The first thing that led me to believe that something was wrong was the huge performance uplift when using Smart Access Memory. I had tested several AMD and Nvidia GPUs before in this game, and even though that some of them had a minor performance boost when using Smart Access Memory, most of them didn't. And since I know from experience that the higher tier GPUs tend to get more performance out of Smart Access Memory, I thought to myself, well, I guess that we had a new update on the game, or maybe even the drivers, and now AMD GPUs have a huge performance uplift with Smart Access Memory on this game. As they should. And so I went and tested the RX 6700 XT on that same game, and I also got that same Smart Access Memory performance boost. And even though the 6700 XT is quite faster than the 6700 non-XT in most games, well, it was just slightly faster than it in this game, but well, it was okay, I guess, it was okay. So I went back and retested the 7900 XTX, and guess what? Exactly the same performance. So I thought to myself, maybe this is a thing of RDNA 2 and it will come later to RDNA 3 as well. Maybe. So I went back once again and retested the RX 6950 XT. And guess what? Exactly the same performance as before. And at this point I was kind of obsessing on why the RX 6700 was much faster and was getting much more boost out of Smart Access Memory than the other cards. So I went and retested once again, you know, that card that is way faster than the RX 6700. Yes, the 6800, which is way faster, as you can see in all of my videos, even way faster than the 6700 XT, and way faster than the 6700. And once again I retested and I had exactly the same results, with the RX 6800 actually being slower than the RX 6700. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense, because the RX 6700 is actually on par with the RTX 4070 at 1080p and 1440p. Makes absolutely no sense. First of all, there's not a single game besides The Last of Us Part 1 where the performance of the RX 6700 without Smart Access Memory gets close to the one on the RX 6800. And that actually happens here. But it is when we enable Smart Access Memory that all the cards get a mild boost, but the RX 6700 and 6700 XT get a huge performance uplift. And as I was going to the gym wrapping my head around it, I thought to myself, wait. This is a PlayStation exclusive. And they focused exactly on optimizing their game to the hardware that they had. And they optimized The Last of Us Part 1 Remake and The Last of Us Part 2 mostly to the PS5 hardware. And what's the PlayStation's 5 GPU? The RX 6700.
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch! What? It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
If you look at the PS5 specs, you can see that we have a 36 computer units RDNA 2 GPU with 10.28 teraflops, and that's exactly a lower frequency RX 6700. And I guess that's why both the RX 6700 and 6700 XT perform extremely well in this game, because they have the same graphics processor, which is the Navi22. And this video was basically all to show you how underutilized the hardware is in The Last of Us Part 2, as for example even the RX 6950 XT should run this game much better as it is barely pulling 300 watts while it should be using 350 watts in those same settings at 1440p. And the same applies to all other cards being AMD or Nvidia. And basically that's it. As I told you in the beginning of the video, this was not a clickbait, and the RX 6700 and 6700 XT, since they both have the Navi22 processor, graphics processor, they work much better with The Last of Us than any of the other cards in comparison, at least to the, let's say, to the performance per watt, because once again the 6700 and the 6700 XT, for example, the 6700 XT works much better than the 6800 and works faster than the 7950 XT in this exact game while consuming over 100 watts less. It makes a huge difference indeed, and this basically leads everything to drivers, of course, and to how the developers optimize their game for a certain hardware. And since the PS5 has indeed the RX 6700 non-XT and the same graphics processor in both cards, the XT and non-XT, these same cards that are inside the PS5 work much better, and once again much better than the other cards. Once again, the 6800 is much faster than the 6700 in any case scenario, and I say once again, any case scenario, although in The Last of Us, since it was made for that card specifically, the 6800 is actually slower. And this video is basically to share my experience and some data on this topic because, well, there might be some people on the internet saying, well, my 6700 XT performs extremely well in this title, and there might be another guy saying, for example, that his 6800 XT doesn't perform as well, so it's impossible. No, it's perfectly possible. I tested myself, and this game is just, overall in terms of optimization, is just a piece of crap. It could be way more optimized. I mean, we're seeing the same performance on the 6700 and the 6950 XT, meaning that if it was well optimized, the 6950 XT would have to be at least 30% faster. At least 30% faster, but you can put something like 40% faster on top of that, meaning that it should perform much better, but it isn't performing much better because, once again, the optimization sucks. It is what it is, I guess. And well, that's all for today's video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And sorry because of my talking way, of my speaking way, because I'm kind of sick. But I will still bring you the most likely tomorrow. I will bring you the video of the RX 7600 versus 6650 XT versus 6700 non-XT. Okay, the tests are already done. I'm already preparing the tables, the charts, and so on to bring you the results that you want. The 7600 is not as bad as people say. Not as bad. Should be much better, true, but it is not as bad as people say. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next video.